everybody, it's your boy T-Guns. It's lunchtime radio, and right now you're listening to Chamvary, the lunchtime rocker on Power FM.
This is Center Stage with the latest and the hottest issues with Chamvary, brought to you by NMB Bank. NMB Bank, in pursuit of excellence.
Minutes past 2 o'clock our time right now, and welcome to Center Stage, another exciting episode of the show. Every Tuesday between 2 and 3 p.m. we make sure that we get a public figure, public personality, somebody that you know very well. We get them into the studio, and then we get to sit down and chat to them about this and that and that and this. And today, this afternoon, I'm very, very honored to have her in the studio. I've been trying to get her for the longest time. We have Zodwa Mkandla in the studio, and she's an amazing businesswoman, a mother, she's a friend to many, and we're just going to get her to open up about a couple of things that we want to know about her. We've always wondered, who is this woman? Some people may say they know her because of her personal life and who she was married to, and some people will say we know her because we've seen her a lot on social media. So we have her in the studio, and we'll get to let you know more about her. We are live on Facebook. The Facebook page is Power FM Zimbabwe. Big shout out to everybody getting in touch. And the views are going up. Share our videos, share it with everybody. Yeah, we have her in the studio. She's looking very pretty in green, by the way. Nice green jacket. And This is proudly brought to you by NMB Bank. So, did you know that with NMB Bank, you can pay your bills instantly to registered billers without moving an inch? Simply select bill payments, then pick your service provider in the categories of utility, insurance, telecommunication, fuel, hospital, airlines, retail, and real estate, just to name a few. So go ahead, pay your bills today on *241#, NMB Bank Connect app, or NMB Connect online, and you get a digitally stamped receipt. NMB Bank, your digital bank. So let's get into it, because we don't have a lot of time. We didn't start at 2 o'clock because they're never late. You're delayed. Businesswomen are delayed. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Sorry, I really do apologize to all the viewers. I was held up in traffic, so my apologies for starting 30 minutes late. But I promise we'll make sure we make up for the lost time.
Of course. You requested that we play Jah Praiser Murder. Are you a big Jah Praiser fan?
He's my brother. He's my best Zimbabwean artist. He's
really?
We're very good friends. He's like a brother to me. I've known him for years, from before he was a real Jah Praiser, but now he's the international star, but very good friend of mine. That's
what I was going to ask. My next question was obviously going to be, at when did you first start listening to Jah Praiser? What was the first Jah Praiser song that you vibed to?
Lisa.
So, that's when you're like, oh wow. Can you dance like Eriza?
Yes, why not? But not today, some other time.
Yes, obviously not today. Today we're here for other things. Let me just adjust her microphone. Taku, can you please just move her microphone close to her so that we can pick up her audio very well? All right, there we go. We've got it sorted. All right, so let's get into Zodwa. We want to understand more about you. What were you like as a young girl?
My mom says I was very naughty, but look, like all other kids. Kids are very naughty growing up. I've got scars all over me. I grew up in the rural areas, by the way. I was not brought up in town. I came to Harare at the age of 12. But I was in the village most of the time. That's where all the mischievousness was happening, where we didn't have cars then. I mean, there were cars for those that were rich, but us we used to, maviri, take maviri and get into them, nedongi, and that's what we used. So all the scars that I have, when it runs fast, then it rolls, and then you get
You'll be inside the tire.
Then you get scarred. You go on top of it, and with your legs at the bottom. So if the donkey runs away, then the tire will come on you, and then you roll. You then get scarred. So we really had our time back then. So that's all we had. We didn't have the luxury that young kids of today have.
So how many were you in your family? How many siblings do you have?
Six of us.
And how many boys are there?
I'm the 3 girls and 4 boys.
Okay.
7, yeah.
That explains this adventure. Which rural home did you come from?
I grew up in a place called Mbembesi in Fingo location in Bulawayo. So along 40 kilometers from Bulawayo. That's where I grew up.
All right.
That's where I was born.
Okay, so what was your dream? What did you think you would be, or where did you think you would be?
Back then in the days, our parents, all they wanted from us was to either be a teacher or be a nurse. So almost everybody in my family is either a teacher or a nurse. So finishing my O-levels, I said to myself, I'm not going to be a teacher, I'm not going to be a nurse, because to me it didn't fascinate me. That's why I then moved to Harare and I looked for a course that was not offered anywhere else. I always applied at all the teachers' colleges. It was Hillside College then in Bulawayo. Every time they would tell me to apply, I would say I've applied when I've not applied. So I wasted a year or so after my O-levels because I didn't want to be a teacher. So I wanted to be something different from everyone else in our family. So I never dreamt to be a teacher like everyone else. I wanted to be something that was different. Then I didn't know what I wanted to be. But when I then came to Harare, my father introduced me to the late Nelson Samkange, who was the ZTA, Zimbabwe Tourism Authority boss. And then he then took me through the courses in the tourism industry. That is how I ended up being a travel agent.
Okay, so this is why you said you took up a course that wasn't very popular back in the day.
Yes, that wasn't very popular back in the day, yes.
All right, so you knew whatever it is that you were going to do, it was going to be inclined to do with tourism. But what about your personality? Were you a people's person back in the day?
I've always been a people's No, I've not always been a people's person. I loved people, but I think I had a very low self-esteem for a very long time, until up to having my first daughter. I had no self-confidence. I think maybe it's growing up in the village and then coming into town and then meeting people that think they are superior, that come from very rich families and all that. They have everything. They come with cars. I used to walk to school even when I was in Harare. Others will come with cars dropped by parents and all that. So I'm one of those people that I've always really, really looked down on myself. I would get into a combi. I was telling someone the other time that I would get into a combi, and I would not, when I get to my stop where I'm supposed to stop, I wouldn't stop. Already I had a baby then. I was married. I would be so embarrassed just to come from the back to the front, just to say, okay, mirai papo. You remember back then you say, Papa stop pango papo and pango papo. So when they stop if they drive past, then there's no one who is getting off. I wouldn't get off the combi. I would go with it until the next stop.
Oh, wow.
Then I walk back. Because now we'll be so ashamed. You are worried. What are they seeing? What are they looking at? I really had very, 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 very low self-esteem. I didn't believe in myself at all.
How old were you when you entered your first marriage?
I was 23 years of age.
And what were your expectations? As young girls, we always have these fairy tale dreams. And you say you grew up in the village, so maybe your fairy tales were a lot different from us, the children who grew up in the town. But what was your expectation of marriage?
I didn't know what to expect, to be quite honest. But, when you got to that, our parents never told us that when a man proposes, you could say no. They also never told us that you can marry when you are ready. They said when someone says, you just get married. So I was 23 and everyone else already, the big sisters were complaining, hey, there's so much peer pressure back then. I think most people got married from 21, you'd be married already.
Yes.
When you get to 23, 24, they think you've overstayed in their homes. I think maybe they didn't want us in the houses. I don't know.
It is still happening to some extent, right, currently?
I think it is happening on the child marriages, which we are fighting against. That we're saying no to child marriages. I think a girl child must get married when they are ready. I've got two girls. One is 20, one is 25. I would never, ever encourage them to marry until they are ready. I think when you're 23, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know what marriage is. You don't know, all of a sudden you've got this husband that is looking up to you. You have to be cooking for him. You have to be washing for him. You've got mothers-in-laws. You've got so many things. You've got so many responsibilities. And you also have babies. It's just so much for a 23-year-old. Because 23 years, you're still a baby. You're a young adult. Discovering yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself. Let alone looking after a whole man, a whole husband and children. I think our parents were very harsh on us growing up. So if my daughter wanted to get married, like she's the 25-year-old, fine, maybe she's a bit mature, but still, I would say take your time.
Give it time.
Find yourself. When you're ready, then.
All right. So when you realize that, you say you didn't really expect much, you didn't have any expectations, but when you realize that, wow, this is a lot, how did you deal with that?
It was not easy to deal with it because you've got in-laws that are pushing you left, right and center. You've got anatete, anabamnini, anababa, anambuya. There's so much that is expected out of us as African women, especially coming from a Ndebele background, marrying into the Shona culture. There are two diverse cultures that are so different. So for me, it wasn't easy. But fortunately, my in-laws were very loving. Both my first and second marriage, I had wonderful in-laws. They were very understanding. They were very loving. They always gave me all the support that I needed. So I never really felt that what people say that
you had a good relationship.
I had very good relationships up to today. All my in-laws, I still have wonderful relationships with them. So I've never really felt, I don't know what it is to be married into a family where you have in-laws that are a nuisance or that are a problem.
So when you got married at 23, and when did your first marriage end? How old were you?
Okay, when I was 27, I had my second baby. And then when my second baby was 3 years old, my husband migrated to England because he had left his job. We never had problems as such that I can say, look, they warranted our divorce. But he went to England and started staying there. I didn't know that he became an asylum seeker when he got to London. So when I kept on saying, come back home, he says, I'm coming next month, until
Next
6
month was
years.
next month.
And next month was next month until 6 years. And I said, you know what, if you're not coming by this time, I'm going to file for divorce. And I thought it was a threat to him to move him back, but he didn't come. That's when I then found out that he was an asylum seeker.
Okay.
But then I decided, you know what, I'm not going to stand for this, because I was flying to London almost every school terms with the kids, and it ended up being something that I was not enjoying. Then I stayed. So we literally never had problems. The only problem was he went to England, he became an asylum seeker without telling us, and I was not going to go and live in England, because I think there's more Zimbabwe has to offer us than staying out there.
Yeah.
It was never my place. And the weather, when I went
The
there,
cold.
the cold, it was so cold. So
Yeah.
I was not going to leave my beautiful Zimbabwe to go and stay in the cold England. I wasn't going to do that.
All right. So when your husband left, when you were married, were you a stay-at-home mom, or you actually had a career path that you were?
No, I was working. I've always been a working woman. I've always been an entrepreneur. When I was married, I had my job. I was teaching at Spaces College after work. I was baking cakes. I was doing weddings.
Look at
I
you.
was making clothes. So I did everything to make sure that I always provided for my kids. I was never a person that wanted my kids to lack anything. So I've always worked hard. People used to order cakes. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays was my busiest days. So after work, you get home, you have to cook for the husband. Yes, we had a maid. I was one of the unfortunate girls that marry men that don't want food that is prepared by a maid.
You're my wife. I want you to
yes, you must cook for me. So you come from work, you have to cook for the husband. After that, you have to bake the cakes for your orders that you'll be having. So really, it was... I don't think I could pass for a stay-home mom. I can't. I've got too much energy.
You're a hustler by nature.
I'm a hustler, born a hustler.
All right.
So I could never stay at home.
All right. Our WhatsApp number is 0712-831-172. Send us your messages. We're also live on Facebook. Remember, this is brought to us by NMB Bank. And we just want to say you can forget about the month-end blues, because with NMB Connect bill payments, you can pay your rent, your clothing account, funeral policies, and insurance from the comfort of your home. It's instant, and you get to share or save your digitally stamped receipts. For more freedom with your money, smart banking with NMB Connect, your digital bank. We have Zodwa Mkandla in the studio, and we're also live on Facebook. So share our Facebook link with your friends and your family and tell them it's going down in the studio. She just got to tell us about her experience as a child and getting married at a young age. But now we want to understand about Zodwa. I remember seeing a video actually on Facebook. You were relating your experiences on your career journey, and one of the things you spoke about was the harsh lesson you learned about venturing into a hustle because of peer pressure. So you spoke about how you baked cakes, you did weddings, you did a lot of things. What is this hustle yamaga zotraya kuita isiri yenye?
Which one are you talking about?
The one you've done a lot. There's one you spoke about selling suits.
I've done, oh yes. Hey, that's
because
that's
you saw someone else doing that.
Most of my friends were in the clothing industry. They were selling suits, some selling clothes, some selling shoes. And I thought, because I've got a little bit of money, I will get myself a shop at Sam Levy. It's a prime location. I started selling suits. That's the worst mistake of my life. I didn't have the time between my travel agency business and the suit business. I didn't have the time to be going in between. So the people that were working for me were actually working for themselves. So they were selling into their own pockets. So never venture into a business that you don't understand to start with, and never do a business that you are not hands-on, because those that are hands-on, they will do it better for themselves, not better for you. So I always advise people that whatever business you want to take, make sure you are hands-on, you are there 24/7, so that you don't lose money through people that are stealing from you. You must understand what the business is about and what you are doing. That way it's easy for you to account for every penny. It's easy to account for the stock. But if you are doing things that because so and so is doing it, then you can never get anywhere.
Is this why your travel agency has thrived so much? Because this is your passion.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about travel. I'm very passionate about people. I'm a people's person. I want to serve people. So I started with Express Motorways, where I was selling bus tickets. That was my first job in the hospitality industry, which then led into the travel agency. So I love serving people. I love taking people to destinations. I love making people discover new destinations all over the world. So that's why I think I started
you've spoken about how you have managed to find success in business through your hard work, your hustle, and you did this without having a degree. So how did you manage to balance it, Kuti? This has to work, because at the same time we have to go to school to learn how to make money. But it doesn't necessarily mean we will make money.
I don't think you go to school to learn how to make money. I think you can make money whether you've gone to school or you've not gone to school, but you must be focused. There's nothing wrong with going to school, having a degree. Because remember, as much as I'm a CEO, the people that are running my business, they've got degrees. Because there's a level that you'll reach at. I might have the brains, I might have the vision, I might have the ideas. But there are some things that I will not be able to do because of my limitations on the education levels that I have. So now that's when we employ you that are degreed to come and work for us that don't have degrees.
Yes.
You see?
You get it?
So they then come and do the job for us. We work together, we guide each other. We've got limitations, yes. But it doesn't mean that if you don't have a degree, you can't achieve the success that I've achieved. You can still achieve it.
So what I'm getting from you is you're saying at the end of the day, you have to be hands-on in whatever you're doing, even if you employ someone who knows how to do it. Is this maybe why a lot of some businesses fail? Because people sit back and allow their accountant to do the accountant job, but you don't make an effort to learn and follow through.
Yes, and what these accountants will do, they'll give you what they think you want to know. They'll not tell you the truth about the true nature of what is happening in the business. Even like my job, I'm a travel agent. If a consultant came, for example, and said, no, that flight is full, I can't book this, I can't do that, I'll go into the system myself and check what they've told me, is it the truth? Because I can do it myself. If you can't do it, or even if everyone resigns in my business, I don't care. They can resign if they're not happy and go start their own businesses. I'll still get onto the computer, get behind that desk and work and make sure my clients are serviced. Not that I don't appreciate the people that I work with. I love all of them. I couldn't do it by myself. There's no one who can have a successful business by working on their own. I've got a team that I work with that has contributed to the success that we have, not just as Zodwa, but as a business.
Okay, so if for example, someone is struggling with finding their feet and deciding what they want to do, the career path they want to choose, or the side hustle they want to choose, what advice would you give someone like that?
I would say find out first what is it that you're passionate about. What is it that you love doing? In many cases, what you love doing and what you enjoy doing, that's where your money is at. Not what someone else is doing. What you enjoy doing. Someone might like cooking. So get a business, maybe open a restaurant or start doing groceries, selling food commodities and things like that. Do something that you enjoy doing, something that you will not be tired. Because you find if you do something that is loved by someone else, 8 o'clock you start work, by the time it's 11, 12 o'clock, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're not giving it your all because you're not enjoying what you're doing. And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you will never make money out of it. You will start a business today, it will close. Another one tomorrow, it will close. You will always be start it up. That's what you'll be. So do something that you enjoy doing. If it's about hair that you love doing,
then do it.
Do a hair business.
Because
if
then you know the qualities to go for.
Yes, you know what to go for. And there's no money that is little. You can start with maybe 3 bundles of hair and sell it, but you are giving your best. The next person will refer the next person, and the other person will refer the other. That's how you grow. I didn't start with many clients. I started with one. Then they referred each other. They start coming. And also the service. Be the best at what you do.
All right.
Give it your all.
We've got 15 minutes to go before the news comes through at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock. One of the dangers of inviting people who are very confident is that they know how to talk and time moves very quickly. Okay, let's move on. Do you think African society has embraced the concept of women dating men younger than them? And is it more about happiness, or about financial gain?
When you sent me that question yesterday, I wanted to ask, is that directed to me or is directed to...
Because there's personal experience.
But anyway,
involved.
It's okay. I've got personal experience. I think age is nothing but a number. It depends on the two people, whether Africa or Europe or whatever. It depends who you're dating. It depends what they feel about it. Because these guys, when they do ask you out, they know how old you are. Don't be lied. They know how old the person they're asking out is. They know your age. So I think it's about that chemistry. It's about the understanding. It's about clicking with that person that you're dating. So I don't believe that dating an older or a younger guy is about always this one loves young boys or loves young girls. I've received so many negative comments on my Instagram page, or whenever I posted my late, or whenever I've posted my current boyfriend. Oh, this one, so what? They are the ones who love me.
Some women like big men. Some women like skinny men.
Yes, but with me, I don't go after these men.
Yes.
They come after me. If they are young and they're for you guys, why are they not with you? Yes. Must come to you. They come to me. I don't go after them. So if someone asks me out and we click and I like him, I'll date him. What's wrong with that? Exactly. And you are happy. If he makes me happy, why not?
All right. So what was your first impression of Ginimbi when you met him?
Sure. When I met that boy, the first days, I used to tell him, I think it took me 4 years to eventually say yes to dating him. I used to look at him. Yes, 4 years. He asked me out for 4 years. Every time I saw him, he was a stalker. He would stalk me every day. If he meets me on the streets, he comes to my office every day. And I say, what does this boy want? And I would tell him, I could never be with you. I could never date you. And then I remember one day I said, okay, take me to Hawaii first and see how serious you are. And he says, no, don't worry. One day I'll take you to Hawaii. I'll take you to Hawaii. But 4 years later, one thing led to the other. I ended up in a relationship, and he turned out to be a very nice guy, despite all the negative things people said about him and all that. We were very good friends. We used to get on very well. He was my friend, actually, more than anything else. So,
is this why even after you guys broke up, you'd always get to meet up? You'd always get to. I remember seeing an interview where you said even after you guys broke up, you could still just call him and say, I'm coming, and you'd be like, come over.
Yes,
you didn't need an appointment.
Literally, I spoke to Genius every morning of my life when he lived. Every day of my life when he lived, we spoke together. People didn't understand why we're that close. Even those girls that tried to date him, they didn't understand when he was with them and I came into the place, he will end up being with me. It's because he had so much respect for me. He cared about me. We cared about each other, even though we're no longer together. That's why even when he passed on, the family said, look, this is your husband. We are going to give you the honor to be able to bury him the way that you want him to be buried. So we had that love for each other. We had that respect for each other. Even the family, up to now, we're very, very, very close with the family. But
okay,
I think, I don't know.
There's something you said that I found very interesting. So you said even when he was with those girls and then you would show up, he would be with you. So would he dismiss them? Could he?
They will not be his girlfriends. They'll be for whoever he's with. He never. I remember one day he had a party at I think a party some 3-4 years ago, his birthday party. He invited me at Dreams. I went there for the party, and the girl that he was dating then left the club, went to scratch his cars, 3 of his cars.
Wow.
Oh, you acknowledged in Zodwa, you didn't even acknowledge me. Engineer said, all he said, Samar, atdanane like that. I mean, this is the girl that he's supposed to be with, but he's acknowledging
Zozo
an ex.
Here.
Yeah, Zozo is here. If I'm there, I'm there. That is me. I was there. I had that hold over him, just like he had that hold over me.
So you were that one name here, I can go to our relationship, Zatodagwa.
That's unfortunate for you.
Okay.
Not that there was anything going on between me and him.
No, but he had a higher level of respect for you.
He respected me. I just also respected him. We ended up, we were very good friends. Most people don't know that at this time of passing on, we'd broken up for at least 2 years. It had been 2 years, because I think I left Genius 2017. December 2017.
And these girls, would they try and prove points to you, like you said, Kufonera? What would they do? What's the craziest thing that happened?
They can't do nothing to me. What could they have done? They couldn't do anything to me. He would never allow them to do anything to me. It would be just him and them. But anyway, Genius was never a serious guy, so he was just wasting their time. And unfortunately, they failed to understand the person that he was. Genius never stayed with anybody. He said, if it's not you that I'm marrying, I'm not marrying anyone else. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay, so what advice would you give, based on your experience with him? What advice do you give to your daughters, and what advice do you give to other young girls that are out there about dating a guy who's like him, and also looking what they should look for in a man? Because you are older, wiser, and more experienced. What advice would you give?
You must look for someone that loves you more
than you love him.
Not someone that you love.
Wow.
Someone that loves you more. Someone that loves you will give you all the respect that you need. Someone that loves you will respect your family, will respect anyone and everyone around you. But if you date someone like Genius didn't care about women. He was not one of those guys who was moved by girls. Yes, you are beautiful and everything. He will do what he does with you. Tomorrow is a different girl. So if you didn't understand him, you then think that, oh, I'm in love, he loves me, is this, is that, that. He will just waste your time. Okay. He never stayed with one girl for more than a week. He never. Wow. One girl or more than a week or 2 weeks. I think out of all the relationships that he had, I was the longest he ever was with. So maybe because I was an older woman, I was mature. He was too mature for his age. That's the thing. So these young girls,
they failed to give him the substance he needed. Okay. We need to move on. We just have 9 minutes to go before 2 p.m. Who is in control of Ginimbi's estate, and what is the current status of that estate?
The family is in control, and I think we still going to court and back, and I think everything is under control. Everything is under control now. They've been able to sit down with the lawyers, the executors, and I think we're in the process of looking for a new executor. I think the other executor was suspended.
Yes, we read that in the papers.
Yeah, so I think everything is in control now. They have to go to court to appoint a new executor,
right.
But the family is in charge of that. His family, I mean.
Okay.
It disappeared. Can you believe it?
I know Zwanikwa.
Kupi. I don't know where it is. I haven't found it up to today. So it's one of those things. And like I said, I worked hard to buy that car.
It was your car?
Yes. I'll still work very hard to buy another one.
So
buy another one. I can still buy another one. So I will work very hard.
Father God, am I not your child? I want to be rich too.
You will definitely be rich soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you and your friends have a group called the Rich Aunties.
The Rich
Cousins. Sorry, the Rich Cousins. I realized that later when I sent you the question. I was like, no, this should be Rich Cousins. Why do you guys call yourself that?
It was just a joke, just calling. The others used to call themselves poor cousins. Then we decided to call ourselves rich cousins. But you know what? The Bible says, what you preach is what comes to life.
You manifest.
So we want to be rich. That's what we want to be rich. We are not there yet. We want to be rich. So we are there as a group. We encourage each other. We promote each other. Whatever business, if you are doing this business, our money revolves amongst us, unless the service that you want is not amongst us. We just support each other to make sure we elevate each other, we encourage each other every day and all that. So that's why we're the rich cousins, and we're not going anywhere. We're never going to be poor. Maybe we're going to be billionaires
cousins
sometime soon.
Okay, so how have you managed to keep this group, this family, how have you managed to stay united? Because you know, with women sometimes cattiness and all these things happen.
We do fight here and there, but we love each other. That's what is the most important. Like right now, one of my best friend, Danya, she lost her mom some 3 days ago. So we all going to Congo tomorrow to go and support her. So we are there for each other. We just are there for each other. We're one family, even if we fight. But when something has happened, we all come back together, sit down on the table. We forget about the fight I had with this one yesterday or this one yesterday. But we just come together for one purpose as a family. We are all family. I think we've all known each other for more than 15 years. So my policy is there's no point making new friends. Let's fight with the old ones and make up and move forward. So there's no need. The new friends, they always come with problems. They want to divide.
So no new friends.
No, we don't want new friends. We're okay. Very happy.
For those
all
that
our
wanted to
children.
apply.
Maybe we can have nieces and whatever,
cousins,
but not cousins.
Okay.
Yes.
So we need to open up the phone lines, but before we do that, you're very close with some amazing, popular and opinionated social media stars, namely Nomathemba, Queen Posh, Lady Posh, as well as Mighty T. So what drew you to bond with these ladies? What do you see in them?
Nomathemba is from Bulawayo, and I've known Nomathemba for quite a long time. Nomathemba used to work for a company, I think it was called Trends. I met her at Trends at
by Eastgate.
Yes, that's when I used to know her from. So she used to sell clothes to me. So because we also come from the same time, my belief is anyone from Bulawayo is my sister, whether we share a surname or not, but automatically you are my sister. So Nomathemba is a young sister of mine. I've mentored her. I love her so much. She dresses most of the rich cousins, and she's got a very expensive taste in clothes. And if you want ever wanted to have a function.
We're now advertising, but anyway, yes.
I'm not advertising, but
that's the concept. You appreciate
business acumen that drew me to her.
Yes, okay. Yes. And then my Titi?
My Titi used to work for me. Okay, I met my Titi at church long back. And most of you don't know this. My Titi used to work, she used to clean in my office. That's when I knew my Titi. I employed her from church. She wanted a job. I think that's when she had broken up with Baba Titi. Then I took her in. I used to have a company called the Events Company. So she came there. She was cleaning, washing toilets and everything. I'm actually very, very, very proud of what she's achieved and what she's done. She's done extremely well. I don't think anybody ever thought she was going to be the person that she is. That's why you must never look down on anybody, because you don't know what their destiny is. You don't know what God has planned for them. They might be cleaning your toilet today, but tomorrow they might be your boss. So she's a wonderful girl. Yes, I know she talks, she does, but it's money for her. She's at work. Right. So people must never take it so serious that I know popota this. When they come out of that thing, then you know she's a completely different. Fairly and my Titi are two different people. Yeah. Okay. So many people don't know that. They are just two different people. So the person I employed was not my Titi, was Fairly. Yes. Who then became my Titi.
All right. So let's open up the phone lines. We only have 3 minutes to go. One caller, the one caller. I have to ask something worthy of being the one caller, the lucky caller. Power FM below. Hello. All right. We're going to one day. Power FM below. Okay, something is going there. 498-652-154. Power FM below. 498-652-154. We have Zodwa in the studio. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, how are you doing?
Please can you reduce the volume of your radio or just move away from the radio so we can hear you properly?
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, no, I just want to say I really appreciate Zodwa, and may God keep on blessing her for whatever she's doing and motivating other women. I really appreciate her.
Wow, thank you so much. What's your name, though? Oh, she didn't tell us her name. What's your comment to her?
Thank you so much, my dear. I'll continue doing motivating young girls and women and a few men.
Okay, so what 3 things can any woman listening to you right now, what can they learn from Zodwa? Zodwa in Harare.
Oh my God. By the way, I didn't pay Kofi to sing that song.
Oh.
He sang it. And if you all remember when the song came out, that was when Genius had just passed away.
Right.
So I didn't even know about the song. I only found out after.
We all dance for your behalf anyway.
Yeah, well, it was a surprise. He's a very good friend of mine, Kofi, and we appreciate him as Zimbabwe. We love his music, and I think he's.
All right. So, what are the 3 things that any girl listening can learn from you?
I'm a go-getter.
That's one.
I don't depend on men.
That's true.
And most of all, self-confidence.
Yes.
Get what you wanna do. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for him. Live for yourself. Don't live for others. And most importantly, pray to God to bless you. And God is the creator of everything on earth. There's nothing we can do without putting God first.
Wow.
That's all I'll say.
Thank you very much, Zodwa, for coming through to the studio. We really appreciate this. And thank you so much to everybody that had been getting in touch on social media. I also want to say a big shout out to Bruce Chawanda from the news department and digital department. He actually worked on getting her here. So thank you for showing up.
My pleasure.
All right, we will be back again next week, brought to us by NMB Bank with another exciting edition of Center Stage. This has been brought to you by Power FM and NMB Bank.
This has been Center Stage with Chamvary. All the hottest and latest live. Tune in to Power FM every Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. NMB Bank, in pursuit of excellence.